Hey, you guys, I am working in my office today. I have 7 podcasts to record today. So it's going to be a day, but I am so excited. There are some great episodes coming up that I can't wait for you to hear. So if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, go on and do that. You'll be glad you did. But I wanted to talk to you. I talked yesterday a little bit about the fact that we're preparing, we're making all of our plans for the 2025 season. Well, today is actually the day that the tickets open. You can get your tickets now. So many have been asking when that's going to be available. So we're about to send out an email to everybody, say, go get them. But I'm preemptively telling you now, shh, don't tell David I did this. At any rate, I had several yesterday who asked me, to kind of follow up. I had talked about some of the struggles that we see families having, some of the things that concern us because families start to feel like things are normal, the friction, the frustration, the chaos, all of these things. And I mentioned in the little video, the little talk that I did yesterday when I went live, I mentioned that teach them diligently actually combats all of those things. It helps you to recognize that those do not need to be normal, that you can get away from them. And so I wanted to tell you just a little bit of how that works, why coming to a Teach Them Diligently event is so impactful for you. And then if you'll stay tuned, I'm going to tell you what our theme is this year and why. Um, but but one of the ways that Teach Them Diligently really combats a lot of those feelings and frustrations and issues that families struggle with when they homeschool is because you are actually engaging with a lot of people at varying stages of their homeschool career who look, think, and act like you. So I can't overstate the impact of talking to other families who are making choices for their family that is just like yours, and then sharing how you navigate different situations. How do you navigate, um, even how do you navigate when family members or people don't understand, and so they call you out or they question you a lot, and the frustration and the friction that that causes. How do you handle when you feel like you're failing on academics because you're going for the hearts of your children and you're just worried that it's not going to all work out that way? um, we talk a lot about those kinds of issues. And so the people that are there are all thinking along those lines. And we're able together to really share what God has taught us as families growing together. It's really, really empowering to be there and also to look around. In the world, we are going upstream all the time. We are, even in a world, and I mentioned this yesterday, even in a world where um, homeschooling is much more mainstream than it was, we are still going upstream. We don't, if we are a missional, discipleship focused, biblically parenting focused family, that still is going to set you up to be very different than even a lot of people in your church, sadly. So to finally find yourself surrounded by people who think and act like you, it's like a breath of fresh air. It is so life-giving, so exciting, so encouraging. So that's number one. The next thing that I wanted to share with you is you have the opportunity to talk to experts in the field. We have curriculum writers there. We have counselors there. We have people who are highly trained in dealing with special needs or even marital issues, parenting issues, all of these things. You have access to sit across from them and not only to hear as they give their workshops, but also to go and engage with them in the exhibit hall. And that is something that no virtual event, no other opportunity can afford you. That only coming to an event like Teach Them Diligently will do is give you that access. And because of the mission behind Teach Them Diligently, the partners that we have, the speakers that come in, the authors and so on, their goal in being there, their mission while they're there is to serve your family. They love hearing from you. And I can tell you, as a speaker myself, when I get to talk to families not when I'm lecturing, not when I'm, giving workshops or whatever, but when I'm just engaging, looking you in the eye, hearing your stories, it is so helpful because it helps me better understand how I can serve your family better and families like you. So I promise at Teach Them Diligently, you are never a bother to the speakers. You are an encouragement to them. And so you have access to truly, truly engage with them freely. And it's awesome. And it's so fun. You are going to find that you like them so much. The people that come to Teach Them Diligently and speak are some of my favorite people, some of my best friends, and all of whom I met through Teach Them Diligently. Heidi St. John, Sherry Seligson, Dr. Kathy Cook, Kim Sorges, who actually lives right down the street and goes to small group with me and church with me. But all of these people are right there, uh, actually accessible, and you're going to find that you really, really enjoy the fellowship with them. So I cannot encourage you enough to engage while you're there, but you got to come in order to be able to engage. So that is the second thing. The third thing, you are going to have access to tons of content. I can pretty much assure you that if you have a question about anything in your home, family, homeschool, etc., we're going to have a workshop that will really give you a lot of insight on that. So you'll have access to choosing approximately 10 sessions per hour for 3 full days. That is around 150 workshops that you can choose from while you're there. Tons of content. It is just amazing what you can learn while you're there. And as a parent, I really, really encourage you to look at the job that you have, biblically parent, homeschool, educate excellently. This is your job right now. You need to be investing in continuing education and Teach Them Diligently, both on site and through Teach Them Diligently 365 all year long, is giving you that continuing education that gives you the confidence that what you're doing is good and what you're doing is right, and it will help you to do your job so much better. So the content is number 3. Number 4, resources abound. It's so cool to be able to go into the exhibit hall and see thousands of curriculum and books and resources and tools and toys and fun stuff and just t-shirts. Amazing things are there. Resources abound. And so it's really like a huge shopping mall just designed for Christian homeschool families like yours. It's like Christmas morning. It's just so fun to go in there and to be able to enjoy that with, again, the thousands of others who look just like you. So the fact that you have access to resources right there, most of which you can grab and go and just enjoy right there in your hotel or cabin that night, is a lot of fun. And finally, you get just the refreshment, the refocusing, the refining of your vision. You're able to make the changes that you need to make to really, really make an impact in your family. So you have to come though to get all of those benefits. And so I encourage you to do that. Get your tickets now. The earlier that you register, the less expensive your ticket is, but also you get first dibs at the children's program, the teen program. That this year we're introducing a new program for kind of middle kids, the 10 to 14-year-olds that kind of get lost in the middle of the teen program, which is designed for older kids most of the time, the children's program, which tends to lean a little younger. We've written a whole program just for middle kids this year. We think you're going to love it. I'm so excited to tell you about it. But if you register early, you get to secure those spots first. Big deal, because they always fill up to being closed. So now I want to tell you about our theme this year, because I am very, very excited about it. Last year, our theme was your mission is greater. And we looked very specifically at our mission. And we did that through Teach Them Diligently 365. We did that through our podcast, and we did it on site at our events. And honestly, for the past 14 years and 50 some odd events, Teach Them Diligently has worked to help focus families on the kingdom impact of the work that you do within your homes, because we believe so firmly that the mission that God has given you to bring your kids to Jesus, to give them a foundation for a faith that is their own, to um, to give them an excellent education so they're prepared to do whatever God calls them to do in the days to come. That mission is greater than anything else. So that's what we looked at last year. To build on that and go deeper, this year, our theme has to do with looking at the mission that we've been given and everything that we've been called to do. 1 Corinthians 10:31 says that everything, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, you're to do all to the glory of God. And that is what we're focusing on this year, is doing all to the glory of God with excellence. So with excellence is our theme this year for our events, for our podcast, for 365. We want to equip you and encourage you as Christian missional parents to understand the to understand the generational impact of what God has called you to do, and to prepare yourself to do that with excellence. So I encourage you, I plead with you, join us at Teach Them Diligently 2025 right now. As this live is going out, we have opened registrations, and registration tickets are as low of cost as they are going to be for the entire rest of the season. This is only going to be open for the next week or so. So go right now, teachthemdiligently.net/events. Find your event, get your tickets right now. We're going to be in Dayton, Ohio in March of 2025. We're going to be in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Branson, Missouri in May of 2025. And we cannot wait to see you there. Grab your tickets, start getting excited, share it with your friends, invite everybody. You know, the first thing that I told you as a benefit of coming together is doing this thing together and growing, encouraging one another, sharing stories. Invite your friends so that your local community can get stronger. And so that as a group of moms locally, moms and dads, families locally, you can start doing all to the glory of God, serving Him right where He's called you with excellence. That is our hope and prayer. If you have any questions whatsoever, if you want any clarification, leave me a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer those. But ultimately, I can't wait to see you at Teach Them Diligently this spring. Get your tickets right now. Preferably join us in 365. Dive in. Let's start growing together now. We have meetups. We have great content. I would love to see you in there as well. But definitely get your ticket for Teach Them Diligently 2025. And let's all work together to grow and change and do our jobs with excellence. I look forward to seeing you there, and have a great rest of your day.